Gobble, gobble, motherfuckers. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. So we watched ThanksKilling 3, a movie that's one part Meet the Feebles and another part an after-school special on acid. We watched it so you don't have to, so you know what time it is.
Horror, so bad it's scary. Splitting up is never okay. Plot, who needs it? Don't turn on the lights. Cars don't ever start, but that's alright. Running upstairs instead of out the door. Good acting, what do we need that for? Horrible horror, so bad it's scary. Enjoy the show, but not really.
Happy Thanksgiving, Moon Goons. It's that time of the year again. It's time to gather around the Thanksgiving table with your turkeys, your cranberry sauce, your friends, and your family. And that's what we're doing here today. We got here at Horrible Horror our little Thanksgiving episode with our friends and our family at Horrible Horror. We have my co-host, Mr. Aaron Southworth.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
And back again at the original trio, Chris Samples.
Hello, everybody.
There he is. Now, those of you who have been following us for a while, we originally, last Thanksgiving, we did what we call the cult classic, ThanksKilling. And there was this we had a great time with that episode. Chris was here on that one. So we had to bring him back for when we did ThanksKilling 3, the sequel.
Yeah, I just listened to that one recently, and man, we had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, we did. I actually listened to it not too long ago myself, and unrelated to this, but yeah, it was it was a pretty fun episode. And I liked ThanksKilling. I think we all said so bad it's good.
I think I'm pretty sure we did.
Absolutely.
With that said, I gotta have myself. We are Horrible Horror, the podcast where we watch the worst of the worst in horror movies. Movies so bad they're scary. Like I said, our intros are done, but you can check us out on iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. You can also follow us on Twitter at So Bad It's Scary and Instagram, along with am I missing anything else there? Facebook. Thank you very much. And our website, horriblehorrorpodcast.com. Check us out there. With that, let's dive into this cornucopia of shit.
Yes. A literal cornucopia of crap. Yeah.
Yeah. What do we do to ourselves here?
What did I watch?
I did try warning these guys ahead of time. I was because I watched this like a week ago, trying to figure out what we're gonna do, and I was like, Aaron, this is it. We could do this, but you should, I'm giving you fair warning. This is fucking weird. Well, I'm sorry, we gotta do it. Like,
I felt like we had to do it because we enjoyed ThanksKilling so much. It was such a good fun ride. Yeah. It was unique. It was silly. It had everything that you wanted in like a cheesy horror movie. I'm like, what could be wrong with this sequel?
And as soon as Marshall brought it up to me, I was like, we gotta fucking do this.
Yeah, I was totally on board.
Yeah.
After watching it.
Last night I texted Marshall. I was like, what the fuck am I watching right now?
Yes. They took a different turn.
Yeah. So ThanksKilling 3 was released on November 13th, 2012. It was written by Jordan Mike Downey and also directed by Jordan Downey. Now, the joke about this is there is no ThanksKilling 2, that movie. It's the whole gimmick is that they say it's marketed as the first film to ever skip its own sequel. So they skipped 2, went straight to 3 as their gimmick, their joke. You can find it on Amazon, and if you have a Prime membership, it's a free watch.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah. And otherwise, the cast is no. I'm not even going to talk about the cast except for Wanda Lust, who returns and thinks this one to reprise her role as the opening tits.
That's perfect description.
That's all she did. She's the opening tits, just like she was in the first one.
That's kind of ThanksKilling's claim to fame was first.
Boobs in the first 5 seconds or something like that.
The first second, because it just opened up on
boobs.
Opens up on boobs,
So
it's awesome.
Now, before we get into the movie here, we are to help us through this, navigate this crazy labyrinth of a movie. Chris was nice enough to bring us all bottles of wild turkey to celebrate the occasion. So
you guys are welcome. We're going to need it, I think.
We are going to need it.
Yeah, we're actually going a little deep. It's Wild Turkey 101.
Yeah.
So we're not fucking around.
No. All right. So like I said with Wanda, the movie opens on a close-up of tits, just like the first one did.
Just like the first one.
Only this is tits in outer space because the camera...
Whenever I saw that, I just want to go, tits in space.
So, yeah, the camera zooms out, and you see this woman in a spacesuit with the tit holes cut out of it.
Tit holes, yeah.
And she's just floating around in the middle of space.
Do you know who that woman was?
That was Wanda Lust.
It was Wanda Lust.
Yeah.
She's back again.
I just said that.
I know. I just realized that. Man, this stuff is strong.
So then we
It's
like
not
this
for amateurs.
the spaceship that's made like these effects are like they're intentionally bad. I mean, they're like super like
God.
Mystery Science Theater 1940s 50s sci-fi
Yeah.
movie bad. But this spaceship that's half turkey baster.
Is that what it was?
It was the front of it was a turkey
God,
baster.
man, I thought it was a dildo. For some reason,
I
I
can see
thought
why
it
you'd
was a
think that.
fucking dildo.
Well, it has. I mean, it looks
It's
kind of like
very-
Turkey
it's
baster
phallic.
makes
I get
so
it, but
much
it's
sense,
Turkey
yeah.
baster.
Like, wow.
And so it starts shooting lasers at Londa Lust, and she just it causes her to like split in half and explode.
Yeah.
blows her in half. Yeah,
Right.
it splits her in half.
Yeah.
And it's so cheesy, like literally just like in half.
The
Yeah.
effects
It's
are
like you take a
awful.
pair of scissors and just cut it in half.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we cut to Turkey piloting the spaceship, who's like, "Nice tits, bitch, in space."
Yeah. Oh my god.
And then Turkey's joined by his wingman, known as Captain Pie-Let.
First name Pie, last name Let.
And he is a talking pumpkin pie wearing a captain's hat.
Yeah.
Like a nautical captain's hat, too,
Yes.
which is even weirder.
Yes, he is.
Um,
Wow.
So Turkey's ship flies past the words ThanksKilling 2, which are dangling from strings, again, made to look intentionally bad.
Mm-hmm.
And now we cue this voiceover that sounds like Splinter from the original Ninja Turtles movie.
Kind of talking like this.
Yeah. I didn't know if you guys picked it, but at first I'm like, oh my God, is that Splinter?
I couldn't put my finger on what it was exactly, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And he gives us some exposition about how the legend has it that ThanksKilling 2 was the worst movie ever made. And the screen goes black, and we fade in on a DVD case of ThanksKilling 2. And Splinter goes on to say that only one copy of the movie remains, and that Turkey would stop at nothing to get his hands on it. So now it switches to like this orange Muppet standing in a forest, while the voiceover Splinter says that for every monster there's a hero, and that this is ours, and she's lost her mind. And with that, we see a Muppet brain like float out of her head and up to the sky. And this thing looks more like a uterus with fallopian tubes than a brain.
It's good
That it
description.
does.
It really does. It looks nothing like a brain.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't look anything like. And I'm watching this. I'm like, huh? Where are we going? Is this going to be an all puppet movie? Because
Right. Yeah.
basically that's what you've got so far. You've got Turkey Pie-Let, which is another puppet, and then you have this
Muppet. She's a
this
Muppet.
orange Muppet
Yeah.
in this beautiful forest scene.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no.
Looks like a Fraggle, kind of like a.
Yeah.
It does kind of have that Fraggle look to her.
But I'm
Yeah.
thinking, oh no, what are we?
Where are we going?
Where are we going?
What happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
So now roll opening credits. And now we get this old like dump truck driving down like a desert road, and he comes to a stop, and a man in a hazmat suit gets out, and the truck dumps out all of its contents, all the trash, as another man in a hazmat suit shows up.
With an
And
orange
this
afro.
He's a curly orange afro and a flamethrower.
Yeah.
They set the pile of garbage on fire, and we see that they're actually setting dozens of copies of ThanksKilling 2 ablaze. So they're kind of giving it the E.T. Atari game
Right,
treatment.
right.
Instead of burying it, they're burning it.
That's
And the
exactly
music
what I
that's
thought.
playing is kind of a remixed house version of the original music
Yeah.
from ThanksKilling,
Yeah.
which you mentioned,
hey.
you commented on in the first one,
Yeah.
how much you liked it.
I did. The original theme music, I really did like I'm tone deaf. I can't even try to emulate it because it'll just sound awful. But I really did like it. And yeah, I noticed they rehashed it in this, but they gave it like a little more dubstep,
like
Texas house
kind of thing.
And
I don't know.
at times I didn't like it, but I'm like, I still like the
beat.
when it was a little more like the original. I liked it so much better.
It's like Skrillex got a hold of it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the credits continue to roll as dubstep music plays, and after the credits, we see a spaceship crash lands next to the flaming pile of DVDs, and then we see some sort of alien in a black suit and at this point it's either some kind of weird robot that looks like Cthulhu, like it's a weird because
Kinda, yeah, it's
he's
got
got
a-
like the tentacly face and
Right.
black. It's really
It's like a combination of a stormtrooper and Cthulhu. In a way.
yeah, that's a
Like-
good way to
with,
put
like
it.
Blackout, all black.
Yeah.
You know, kind of looks kind of big and strong, but you know, it's
Yeah, it's
And he has a worm puppet on his
yes,
shoulder.
thank you. Exactly. He's got a talking earthworm with a mustache sitting on his shoulder.
Yeah.
We learned the worm calls the black robot alien thing Muff and Muffy, so that's his name, Muff, throughout this movie, and says that Turkey is not going to be happy when he finds out about the burnt DVDs, and they just leave the scene. So like, okay, what?
You don't know if this is Turkey's ally or
Yeah, at first I thought it was. I'm like, oh, okay, they're
like he's working for Turkey.
Yeah,
that's what I thought too.
So now the movie changes to look like a bad sitcom from the 80s, and it's Turkey's 514th birthday.
It looked exactly like the set of Roseanne.
See, I put Mama's Family down.
Yeah, I was thinking Archie Bunker.
Really?
So we're all kind of in different. But it's that same theme. It's just kind of like old
kids
house.
ask your parents and grandparents about All in the Family and Mama's Family.
Archie Bunker.
So Turkey's sitting on the couch watching TV, wearing like one of these, little cardboard party hats and a dirty wife beater. And in comes Turkey's turkey wife, who just is like a stereotype. She just talks.
She's got a little turkey wig on with her hair in curlers.
Yeah. She's wearing like an apron.
And an apron, yeah. And in comes their baby turkey, Niblet or something like that.
I could never get their name right.
Niblet was right.
It's Niblet or Niblon. I don't know what it is. It's Nibble something. And so Mama Turkey decides to feed Niblet some cake by just vomiting it all over him.
She eats the cake like birds do. They regurgitate food into their young's mouth. So she's chewing up the cake and then just starts barfing all over it.
Yeah.
It's
not in its mouth.
Just all over the whole thing.
Yeah.
And Niblet is a much smaller, Turkey and Turkey wife are like little hand puppets, where Niblet's just on a stick.
Yeah.
It's about the size of maybe like a baseball.
Yeah.
It's a small little puppet. God damn it! What am I watching?
Yeah,
I know.
So on the TV is a commercial for Uncle Donnie's Pluckmaster 3000, a little machine that can. It almost looks like an Easy Bake Oven type thing,
sort of. Yeah.
And it's supposed to be able to prepare a turkey in like a minute or something like that. From
pluck it, cook it. To the
no,
table.
stuff it, I think, or pluck it, stuff it, and cook it all into the table in like under
30 seconds.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like,
some super machine.
Salmonella, anybody?
So Uncle Donnie, you need to know about him is he dresses like a colonial pilgrim throughout the whole movie. Not so much a pilgrim like the black and hat, but more just a straight colonial.
Like George Washington.
Very George Washington.
Yeah.
He looks more like
what I
George
thought,
Washington.
Right. I mean, he's got the colonial wig, he's got the colonial
jacket.
garb, but it's blue, and he's got normal hair, normal beard.
And he doesn't talk like from, that time period. He just talks like he just dresses that way. Right. And then comes a news report that talks about ThanksKilling 2, and the reporter says that ThanksKilling 2, the family-friendly sequel to ThanksKilling, the only movie shot entirely in space, has been dubbed the worst movie ever made, and the studio has vowed to never release it.
It's funny, too, like when it comes on, news with a Z.
Yeah.
He kept saying that over and over. I was like, news with a Z.
So, hearing that, lightning crashes, a new mother cries, and the camera zooms in on Turkey.
Like, the lights go down, like, flames start coming up in the background, organ music's playing.
Yeah. And wife Turkey tells him that she's sorry that he had to find out this way, and that she was told by a friend of his earlier that this had happened, and sorry that his movie will be destroyed forever. This pisses Turkey off. Again, the lights start flashing, it changes to red, more lightning, pictures are falling from the wall. I mean, this looks like some out of a poltergeist movie at this point. And Turkey begins to laugh evilly.
Well,
and
she says, I guess I could gobble your balls later.
Yes. Thank you. And Turkey's like, well, gobble this, and then raises one of his wings and just slices her head in half right down the middle, while the baby Niblet just watches the mother split in half and die.
Real dark here for a second.
Yeah, I kind of like the way it was shot, because they show her head. The camera's right on her face. Her face splits in two, and in between the splitting of the face is Niblet in the background.
Yeah.
So I like the way it was shot. I was like, ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, I will say that was they did shoot that pretty nicely. I did enjoy it. So Turkey turns to Niblet and then starts laying to him, says that he never wanted this kid, and he wanted the mother to put the egg out in the sun.
He says exactly. Says, when I got the call in space saying your mom had laid you, I said, put that egg out in the hot sun, bitch, and let it sit till it cracks, hoping some lizard would come by and slurp up your rotten yolk.
Yeah, that's what. Thank you.
Holy fuck. I actually wrote that. Holy fuck.
I'm glad you wrote that word for it, because I had like paraphrase, but that's so much very
Oh,
hard.
God damn, man.
Pretty brutal.
Dude.
It is brutal. So instead of killing Niblet, which I thought Turkey was just going to straight up do, he tells him, "Hey kid, be evil with me," and they go out. They leave together in search of the final copy of ThanksKilling 2. We get the spinning transition. Almost looks like something like you see like the old Batman cartoon.
Right.
It's like and it just spins. And we go to this graffiti covered alley, and in one of the dumpsters is the naked orange Muppet with purple hair named Yumi. And this is the one that lost her mind. She's looking for it. She's digging through garbage looking for her lost mind, and then a bag of garbage begins to talk to her.
And again, this is like another puppet, very puppet looking. It's got like a toilet roll for one eye, a broken CD for another eye. It's got a big mouth. It's like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Great garbage.
Yeah, great garbage.
At this point, I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I was writing.
This
and I
is
just put
like
it down.
12 minutes in the movie.
Yeah. And it gets even fucking weirder because now it suddenly becomes a cartoon about a group of cat friends that sing about munching carpet and anal kisses.
Yeah. There's even like an animated, like a ball
animated
sack and an
butthole.
asshole.
Yeah, they animate this
The
whole
kid
thing.
cat's going up there to fucking, oh God. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
And then it just goes back to the dumpster. There's no rhyme or reason for this whatsoever.
The only thing that the connection there is that she's carrying a backpack with a picture of the cat on it.
Yeah,
Meowmer.
it's like
Meowmer is what
yeah,
it
it's like
is.
like a Dora the Explorer backpack, and
Yeah,
then
it's
Dora.
just a cute cartoon,
Yeah.
but it's apparently these cats are into some really fucked up shit.
Yeah,
Right.
Carpet munching and anal
anal
speeds.
kisses.
Yeah.
So the talking garbage bag vomits up a copy of ThanksKilling 2 that hits Yumi in the face, and she takes it, puts it in her backpack, and now she meets Uncle Donnie, who educates her about his wig and helps her out of the dumpster. He leaves her be for a bit and walks away, and a flyer for Uncle Donnie's Pluckmaster 3000 lands at her feet with the words "peace of mind" printing on it. So she takes this as a sign that he can help her find his lost mind.
Yeah, so it's Thanksgiving. I can find my mind through Thanksgiving, and it's because it's advertising the Turkey 3000,
Pluckmaster 3000.
3000, and she's like, oh, it says like for your Thanksgiving, and she's like, I can do this.
Yeah.
All right, and she follows him, and god damn it.
Yeah. So basically, shorten this up. She catches up, and he invites her back to his place for Thanksgiving. And so we go back to Turkey, and he's riding on the back of a seagull that's wearing a hat that says taxi.
Just stop. Just stop.
Yeah, folks.
You
This
said
is really
that
happening.
with such a straight face. God damn it. We go back and we see Turkey riding the back of a seagull taxi.
Yeah. And not only that, but then the seagull starts mocking Turkey about the fact that he can't fly.
Yes.
And like,
I'm glad he's starstruck because apparently Turkey's famous.
right.
Because he's like, I'm so excited to be flying you today, sir. It's such an honor. You must be enjoying this considering you can't fly.
Yeah.
And he, like Chris said, he starts razzing him about not being able to fly because he's a
Turkey's
turkey.
like, fuck yeah, I'm pissed I can't fly. I don't even know what it's like to shit on people from above or something like that. What the fuck is going on?
So yeah, this pisses Turkey off enough that he decides to kill Niblet. And not the seagull, he throws his son off the seagull, who plummets like hundreds and hundreds of feet to the ground and just splatters in
Niblet had gotten off the phone or something and said he talked to somebody, and there's only one copy remaining of ThanksKilling 2.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And that's what pisses him off. So.
I thought it was
Yeah.
the flying thing. I missed that.
It's hard to understand Niblet.
Right.
Yeah.
Niblet's difficult to understand because it talks in a very high-pitched voice.
Very
like a
high-pitched.
kid,
Yeah.
and talks very fast. It's difficult to understand what they're saying.
Um,
And I did not watch this movie twice to try to pick up what they said.
So, Niblet's turned into like a puddle of like bloody mush upon impact. Turkey lands next to the puddle mush, and in the remains of Niblet, his beak so happens to be there, which begins to talk. So we have a talking puddle of blood, basically,
Yeah,
now. It's
yeah.
talking.
Daddy, are there playgrounds in heaven?
Yes.
Wow.
And Turkey
Wow.
tells him that he needs his soul so he can see through him. And Turkey touches his wing to the bloody puddle, and like this stream of blue energy starts flowing out of it. And Turkey commands it to find what he's looking for, and the energy like flies off into the sky. Yeah, just
Yeah, just
Look,
go with it.
Take a drink.
Just go
Let's
with
all
it.
take a drink now.
Just take a drink. It's drink time.
All right.
Oh, good.
Oh, that's whew. So we go back to Uncle Donnie's house, which is like all decorated for Thanksgiving, and we meet Donnie's ancient rapping like grandmother or something,
Puppet grandmother,
which is played by a disgustingly pathetic puppet in a wheelchair.
Oh yeah.
And we
it's
also
really gross looking.
it is
too.
disgusting looking. Like
got-
it's
Absolutely.
It's like this old woman face, but it's like cranked out to be as nasty and vile as you get. No teeth, big fat lips. I mean,
Buckshot
nose,
eyes.
bloodshot, like the nose is crooked, and it's just.
it's the
gross.
worst looking puppet in the whole movie. It's bad. And
Worse than turkey.
yeah, I think easily
Yeah,
worse than
I
turkey.
think so.
Turkey's so much better, in my opinion.
What about the worm? The worm sucks.
The worm sucks, but I mean
Worm
it's a
sucks.
worm. You can
Yeah,
only do so much
yeah,
with a
alright.
worm. So
She's dressed in like a full
Like she's got like a tracksuit on.
Yeah.
tracksuit.
Yeah.
Like in like shade, like orange
80
shades.
the 80s,
She's got like a
like,
boom box.
slits, yeah.
like a boom box on the top of
yeah,
the wheelchair.
strapped to the back of a
She doesn't
wheelchair.
look like
And
an IV of oldie or a straw coming out
Yeah.
like a 40.
I think she's got like I think you're right the
Uh-huh.
first time. I think she's got like
And
an
like
IV
yeah.
of 40 of Old English 800 going into her. So
Yeah.
she's just
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
hardcore.
grandma. And we also meet Jefferson, who just like Donnie dresses in colonial garb. And I don't know what I think I think Jefferson and Donnie are cousins. I don't know. It's not really sure.
It doesn't really say, but we know that
I know
the
Jefferson
related.
grandmother,
Jefferson is
the old lady is Jefferson's mom.
mom,
Yeah.
which is so weird because they call her grandma throughout the team, but it's clearly the mother, but she looks like she should be like a great grandmother to one of these guys.
she's a fucking puppet.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true. But
We're trying to rationalize
I
this.
know,
There's no
it's
rationalizing. This is tough.
so Jefferson, who is obsessed with his long pike, which for now is just a butter knife on taped to a stick. He also wears this like a security guard vest over his clothing.
He's very serious about it.
He's
He is
very
very
serious. And so grandmother talks about fucking some new guy and how and basically she's just a foul mouthed puppet for the sake of having a foul mouthed puppet.
Yeah, and
Which-
it's a grandma, so it's like ooh, extra.
Yeah,
shocking.
but again, you already have a foul mouth. Turkey's already a foul mouth puppet. He has been since the first one. So it's just kind of oversaturation of the foul mouth puppet for
yeah.
shock value.
Oh god.
I mean, she talks about sucking cock
Yeah.
and doing all this stuff.
She keeps rubbing her cooter and
Yeah, and smelling her
smelling it,
fingers.
yeah.
Oh god. It's
I mean,
foul.
it's really gross. He even
Fucking
talks about
foul.
giving God a blowjob.
Yeah, later in the
Yeah.
movie she does.
Yeah.
Eventually, Donnie and Yumi enter, and Yumi goes crazy trying to search the house for a piece of her mind.
He's all excited. Oh, Thanksgiving! Like running
Yeah,
around searching
exactly,
everything.
yeah, perfect.
Really over the top.
And so now we get a POV shot of like the blue energy that's Niblet's soul flying around the house, and it goes into Yumi's backpack where the DVD is. And the old woman tries to introduce Yumi to her newest mixtape that has a track on it that she calls the diaper filler because it's so good it will make you shit yourself. That's her
She's,
explanation.
It's called Sprinkle and Wrinkle.
Sprinkle
is the
and
name of the
Wrinkle.
tape.
Sprinkles of wrinkles or something like that.
And
Yeah.
Sprinkle wrinkle.
There's a line that she says, I got glaucoma, I got a Glock, you in a coma, can't see shit.
That's pretty good.
So, and this time we learned that the old lady's name is Lois, but she goes by her rap name Flois.
Flois.
I liked it.
And now a toy cockroach on a stick pops up next to Yumi and tells her that he saw
Uh-huh.
her mind go into the oven and then just leaves. So
Yeah,
now
pretty
we have
much.
a talking cockroach on a stick.
Not
And-
before he mentions that he laid like 800 eggs in the potato chips that she was eating.
Yeah,
which
so-
she spits out. So yeah, so he basically tells her your mind's in there.
Yeah.
And that should be her going, oh great, and go in there, right?
Right.
Yeah, no.
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 That would be the end of the movie.
It would be. So Jefferson and Diane are talking about this Thanksgiving-themed amusement park that they want to build and open called Thanksgiving Land, where Jefferson is supposed to be the head of security. And during this conversation about Thanksgiving Land, no one knows that Yumi's backpack just unzips by itself, and the DVD of ThanksKilling 2 rises up out of it, while we hear Turkey and Vio say, like, niblet, let me look through you, or some crap like that. And this scene goes on for a while, and it slows things down.
Yeah, so Jefferson, basically what you need to know, which is I thought was kind of funny, is that Jefferson hates Yumi.
Yeah.
Really hates Yumi.
For, like, no real reason,
Does
but just
not
hates her,
like
yeah.
Yumi. Like, he keeps poking him with his stick, and
We
And
basically
that,
think she's a security risk or something like that.
Right.
He's like,
he's really giving the business
Also, what you
this
need
puppet.
to know is that I guess Turkey ended up Niblet
Possesses the
possesses
DVD.
well,
the DVD.
we haven't.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
No.
coming up, but yeah.
Sorry.
And this is where, Flo's is talking about giving God a blowjob after she dies. and that she decided to become a rapper because her TV got stuck on BET, and that was her sign.
Right.
At this point, she wheels her chair off, and it gets caught on a sheet, and it pulls the sheet off of the massive oven-like machine, which turns out to be the original Pluckmaster system or machine.
Version 1.
Version 1. And it's huge.
Anybody else notice that Flowis's wheelchair joystick
Is it an
Atari
Atari? Yes.
handle? Yeah.
Atari 2600 controller.
That was, one most important thanks to me.
Yeah, I noticed that right away too. I was like, oh, that's cool. All right. So Yumi's super curious about the Pluckmaster and wants to know about it, but Donnie seems to have some kind of bad memories associated with this thing and doesn't want to talk about it. The doorbell rings. Jefferson goes to answer the door, thinking it's somebody dropping off his real long pike. And from here, the movie goes into like a dreamlike sequence.
Where he's just obsessing over his long pike, which
Yeah.
is
Like
essentially a
floating
spear.
towards the door.
Yeah.
It's like the English
It's a
version of a
basis
spear.
Yeah, it's a long pike.
But if you said, "Hey, what's a long pike?" I'd be like, "I don't know," but now I do.
Might as well call it a
I
spear.
do now.
Yeah. So then all of a sudden Jefferson begins to bleed from the mouth, and we hear Turkey, and he says Thanksgiving just got fucked, but it's the voice of Turkey. And then the dream sequence just ends, and we see Jefferson dead on the floor in pieces.
Chopped up into a shit ton of pieces.
Yeah, legs, arms chopped off, torso cut in half.
And we don't get to see any of it.
Nope.
Which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah,
I was disappointed. I was like, what? Come on.
Right.
Jesus. I mean, you got the pieces. Just do a tight shot of like blades going through it or something.
Yeah, I
But,
agree.
yeah,
Something.
I mean, they could have done something. And then
I
just
mean, you
seeing
did
the-
a turkey head cut in half. You could do that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then you just pile of parts. I'm like, I feel ripped off.
Yeah, I
feel
felt the same
shorted.
way. I felt the
Yeah.
exact same way.
I don't know.
Especially considering kills are a big thing for us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know.
So Turkey hops up onto Jefferson's remains, now wearing Jefferson's wig and holding the long pike. He spouts the one-liner, looks like he just gave up on life, cold turkey.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
There's so many good puns in this. Though.
There are some good
Turkey
one-liners.
does have good one-liners.
Yeah, I mean that was also the theme in Thanksgiving.
The original, yeah,
There
the
was a
original.
lot of
Absolutely.
good puns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turkey rips the butter knife off of the stick and uses it to scrape up some of Jefferson's blood and goo, spreads it on a slice of toast, then eats it, and of course saying, he's toast.
Yeah.
So Turkey demands to know where his movie is. Now this is where it rises up and starts spinning around in circles, and the cover art on the DVD box comes to life.
Yeah.
Where the picture of Turkey's head like pops out of the DVD, comes to life, and now Niblet is possessing, like it's
Right.
Niblet's head talking.
So
It's-
Niblet is living through the DVD.
Yeah.
Cover art. Yeah, it's
Yes.
really it's so fucking
Yep.
weird. Like it's the people who wrote this had to be honest. I wonder what drugs they were on when they wrote this.
I found myself wishing that I was on drugs.
I don't blame you.
Dude,
I totally agree. I'm right there. I think we're all kind of in agreement that booze wasn't strong enough. We need to
No.
go a little
Yeah.
deeper. We need to go with some Schedule 1 shit.
So now the secret door to the pantry opens up like magically for some reason, and the DVD like flies into it. Donnie quickly grabs Yumi and Flois, and they rushes into the pantry. The door closes behind him, locking Turkey out.
Well, they're summoned by the voice of Splinter, aren't they?
Maybe, I don't know, but it's like the door just opens by itself, and the DVD
Like
flies.
there's explosions too on the door. Like doesn't there like
No, the explosion comes later. I think.
yeah. Anyway, go on.
And so we cut to the Muff and Rhonda the worm. That's the name of the worm, Rhonda, walking through the like a desert landscape. And Muff projects a digital like computer screen from his eye. And so apparently this robot comes equipped with like built-in Wi-Fi and a satellite connection, because they call another space worm named Nerdworm, who's either in a spaceship or at like the Muff company headquarters on another planet. We don't fucking know. And Rhonda the worm that rides on Muff asks Nerdworm to track ThanksKilling 2. Start tracking it. And it turns out Nerdworm is the one that created Muff the robot. And that's really all you get from this. It's probably didn't even need to talk about that. Who cares? So we go back to Donnie, Yumi, and Flois wandering through like a dead forest. Like all the leaves are dead, just the forest, woods. Flois kind of confronts Donnie about his fears and his old family, and which was really weird. Like I'm not sure how it came up, but it seemed really forced. And Donnie goes into storytelling mode, and he tells Yumi the story about how he sent his wife and child out for another barrel of stuffing like last Thanksgiving or something, and they got eaten by wolves or something.
Yeah, because he's collecting all the stuffing and stuff for Who Land, right? Or there's a Pluckmaster. Yeah,
it was Thanksgiving dinner.
Master, right?
Yeah, for the Pluckmaster. Yeah, and you know who likes Stevenson's stuffing more than humans? Wolves.
You know what they like it with? A side of wife and child.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So, and that's basically the long and short of it. So, now it looks like Donnie suddenly gets attacked by DVD Niblet, but he just tosses off him and Floris catches it. So I don't know what the point of that was, but it happens. And now out comes the old wise turkey.
Yeah, so they're walking, and all of a sudden there's
splinter
a being
turkey
that shows up, and there's this old wise turkey with a big cloak on, carrying a stick. Looks like Gandalf.
Yeah,
Gandalf was a turkey.
Yeah, it's Gandalf meets Splinter is basically what I got out of this.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells them that they are at the gates of the Feather World, a peaceful afterlife for turkeys. And he brought them here to help, but gets sidetracked when he sees Yumi and tells her that she's very special and that she is from a place that planes, trains, and aliens cannot reach. And that if she is here on Earth, that means someone believes in her. What the shit? Like, this never comes back around. Like, Yumi was not summoned by anybody or like some kid's imagination. Like, I need help, or like it just makes no fucking
to be
sense.
honest, why the fuck is there even Yumi?
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense.
No. This movie could really Yumi has no real bearing on this entire film at all. At the end of it, she's kind of pointless. So the wise turkey tells him the story of Thanksgiving and the first beheading. And those turkeys that accepted their fate lived on in the Feather World, but there were others that chose anger and hatred towards the humans, and it was from those that spawned the most evil of them all, a devil turkey, spellbound by an ancient Native American curse. Once a wise turkey himself, the evil one remains the last of our kind. So, of course,
And now he goes by simply Turkey. God damn it. I just found myself saying that a lot in this film.
So Wise Turkey gives Yumi a wishbone to guide her on her way.
I do like she goes, is this a boomerang?
And tells Donnie to stay by Yumi's side, that there's something peculiar about her and that Turkey is after her at all costs and Donnie must protect her. And again, I don't even know why Turkey's after her. It never really. He just wants to kill, but he kills everybody. So
he wants the DVD.
Yeah, but it doesn't do with Yumi.
No, it really doesn't. But it doesn't make sense why he'd be after Yumi.
Yeah, exactly.
He'd kill anybody.
That's what I'm saying. It makes no sense that they say that. So the wise turkey fades away, telling Yumi to follow the wishbone and she will find her mind. And now there's just think about these dialogue here. It's drink time. Drink time.
Oh, I'm up to the old E now.
Yeah, so Chris also brought some Old English in honor of
Flois.
Yeah.
Flois, yes.
So now, like, a massive earthquake hits, and everything's shaking, and then they're engulfed in bright light. And when the light fades, they find themselves back in Donnie's pantry. And the door opens up, and the rest of the house is bathed in red light. And they hear Turkey's voice welcome them home. And now the movie decides to drop acid.
Yes.
Because shit gets weird here. Dubstep music starts playing. The picture starts to distort. And it kind of looks like one of those old, like, 3D movies but like, if you look at it without the red and blue glasses.
Exactly, because I was thinking, put on your 3D glasses now.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, man, I wish I had I know I have 3D glasses. I just moved to my new house, so I have my 3D glasses from watching
Friday the 13th.
The Friday 13th.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man,
wasn't Bloody Mary also in 3D?
Bloody Mary had 3D elements, yes.
Elements, but we didn't have the glasses for that.
But I was just like, it's trippy as balls.
Yeah,
and it goes on for like 3 or 4 minutes.
It's a long scene where
it's basically a music video.
Yeah, it really is more music video than
anything else. The way I describe
it.
It's a music video because the music like really cues up, and it's this kind of remix house version of the original ThanksKilling music.
I think this
this isn't even the ThanksKilling theme music. Maybe not this one. This is just weird,
but it's like Skrillex kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's just weird shit.
And it's thumping and bumping, and they're showing the puppets and Turkey, and they're doing weird visual effects and. Yeah, it's really strange
and
real trippy.
Yeah, and Turkey somehow lures Yumi towards him because suddenly goes into some kind of like weird trance, like she's a zombie or something. And apparently this works, and Turkey talks about how Thanksgiving is not about family, but about death and the death of his people. And again, this goes on for a while and just gets fucking weirder and weirder to the point that, I mean, it's really nearly impossible to explain. It really is. So Turkey gets his wings on the ThanksKilling 2 DVD.
I like say he gets his wings on.
His wings.
Right.
Flores tries to drag them all out of the house, but her wheelchair, which is controlled by, this is where I wrote the Atari controller, it's like spins out of control. Like doesn't have the power to do or something. It just doesn't go anywhere. Now, suddenly the wall explodes, and in comes Muff and Rhonda the Worm. The blast causes Turkey to lose his grip on the DVD, which goes sliding across the floor. Rhonda Worm says, looks like the early worm just got the bird.
Yeah.
Which I liked.
And Turkey and Rhonda Worm have a standoff. The dialogue between the two makes it sound like Turkey and Rhonda Worm were at some point lovers, like they fucked at some point. And keep in mind that even though the word's name is Rhonda, it's a guy worm.
Speaks in a male. It's got a male
It's
voice,
got a mustache.
and it's got a goddamn mustache.
Yeah.
Right.
And so while Turkey is distracted by Rhonda Worm, Donnie flips on the Pluckmaster, which turns out it can talk once it's turned on. So now we have a talking oven, basically. So this is like Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah, that's a very good description. Yeah,
I actually wrote down, I was like, why is Pluckmaster talking to Donnie?
We just need Cherry, like,
Yeah.
Cherry.
Where's Cherry? Where's Jambi?
the singing fish.
What's going on?
It sucks Turkey into the Pluckmaster, and Turkey gets deplucked or defeathered, stuffed, and roasted, and then ejected out the rear of the Pluckmaster.
Shot out the rear.
Yeah. With such force, it goes shattering through a window, landing outside, and outside he lands like it's littered with like other turkey skeletons.
The carcasses and dead remains of other turkeys.
Yes. So Donnie turns off the machine, but the Pluckmaster refuses to be switched off, and like he has some words for Donnie. They bitch back and forth, and
he talks like he's from the streets, man.
Yeah, but yeah, a little bit. And the Pluckmaster refers to everybody else as Canadians for some reason. Like I don't know what joke I missed there. Like these Canadians. Why are these Canadians here? I'm like, I don't get it. Like
this whole movie seemed to have like a lot of inside jokes.
That
I didn't fucking really get. I was like, what is?
I was kind of like grasping at straws.
The only thing I could think of is because he did say something like, "This better not fucking be October." Because he's a Thanksgiving turkey machine, and it was in November, and I think Canadian Thanksgiving is in October. So if he thought they were there for Thanksgiving, then like why that's the only thing I can think of, and that's even.
Does Canada have a Thanksgiving?
Yeah, they have a Thanksgiving.
I had no idea.
Yep.
Look it up.
Nah.
So Muff starts pacing back and forth. Well, Rhonda goes into more exposition about Turkey and the curse. And it turns out the making of ThanksKilling 2, Turkey was secretly sliding lines of curse into his performance in the movie. And a curse that would put everyone who watched the movie under his spell, thus dying a slow and horrible death.
I see.
So Rhonda tells him that the only way to destroy the movie is to destroy it in space where it was created. Yet I seem to remember them setting it on fire. It worked pretty damn well in the beginning of this movie.
Worked pretty good there.
Worked pretty darn good.
Yeah.
So Rhonda mentioned...
All you need is dubstep and a flamethrower.
Orange wig and
orange.
Mask.
Yeah. You look like you're from My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah.
So Rhonda mentions that Muff can create a vortex that will launch a DVD up into space in no time. So Muff lays down on his back on the floor and folds his legs up to his chest, leaving his asshole pointed straight up. Rhonda the Worm leaps onto Muff's upturned ass and sticks the end of his worm body into Muff's anus to loosen it up.
Loosen up that anus. And it's a pretty disturbing visual.
It really is. It's yeah.
I mean, they kind of do this shot where the worm is up and down just with its tail, essentially, which going into this robot anus.
It's
what am I saying?
Yeah. So then he enters a passcode on a keypad that's embedded in Muff's butt cheek. And once the passcode is entered, a giant blue energy vortex shoots out of Muff's ass and through the roof of the house into space.
For such a low budget film, this effect is pretty good.
Thank you. I was just about to say, this is probably the best special effect in the movie. This vortex effect. It's,
Also, Muff's gun is pretty cool too.
yeah,
Yeah.
the gun itself is stupid, but the blasting of it, the effect of it is good. Yeah, that's a pretty good. But the vortex is by far, in my opinion, I agree with you, the best effect of the movie. So we go back outside to Turkey's body. Turkey's burnt, charred. He's now missing an eye, but somehow he's still alive. And it turns out he's also a necromancer because he raises the turkey skeletons from the dead. And he orders the turkey skeletons to rebuild him, which they do. And once Turkey's back to normal, he says to his minions, "Let's go have some drinks and kill some motherfuckers."
Right.
I love that. Yeah. I'm like, let's go have some drinks first, then we'll come back and kill these guys. I'm like, right.
Yeah.
One of the skeleton turkeys stops Turkey and tells him that, boss, we lost your penis.
Yeah.
My dick.
And so what does Turkey do? Well, I will tell you what he fucking does.
Oh my god.
He takes a page from the Book of Ash and gives himself a fucking chainsaw dick.
Yep.
It's just like straight out of Army of Darkness. It's the close-up shots of the repair, the work, everything being done to the chainsaw.
Evil Dead 2.
And then when it's all done, said and done, he pans back and he says,
Gravy.
I love it. I love it.
But it's not Army of Darkness. It's Evil Dead 2.
No,
yeah, it's
Evil Dead 2.
It's Evil Dead 2.
Okay, well that's true. However, in Army of Darkness, he does the line, the groovy line.
Well, he does. He does it in
But it was
Evil
gravy.
Dead 2 also.
Did he?
Yeah.
Shit.
It's the chainsaw on it. Groovy.
He got
Gravy.
But Turkey says gravy.
And he's got a
yeah.
chainsaw.
I love it. I love it.
He's got a chainsaw dick.
But the skeleton turkeys is reminiscent of Army of Darkness.
Thanks for trying to help me there.
You know.
Is it? 'Cause I haven't seen Army of Darkness since like.
What?
Really?
No, I've seen it, but I'm saying I haven't seen it in like 20 years. Or
Wow.
something. It's been a long fucking time since I've seen that.
Saw
It's
it
like a
couple months
staple
ago.
Halloween
Yeah.
movie
Yeah,
for
yeah. I
its
just
era.
saw it like the beginning of October.
Yeah.
Shame on you, Marshall.
Yes. For shame.
So back inside, everyone seems to have forgotten why they created the vortex in the first place.
Where's the long pipe?
Because instead of immediately just tossing the DVD into the vortex, they're all just standing around talking,
They're all just-
looking at
They're
it,
all just bullshitting.
and making worm puns.
They're all, yeah, they're just,
That's all they do.
instead of just taking care of the problem,
Yeah, it's
just,
like,
because it's going on for minutes
yeah,
and minutes and
like,
minutes.
oh my god, there's
Yeah.
this evil devil killer turkey after us. He wants his DVD, but the only way to destroy it is if we throw it in his vortex and take it up into space, it'll be
Right.
destroyed. But let's just sit around, talk, and make puns instead of quick. I mean, goddamn! It's like even
Right.
like Frodo didn't wait this long to throw the ring into the fucking Mount Doom. Like he just throw it in there.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nicely done. Bringing the
care of it.
Gandalf thing back around.
Yeah,
There you
there you go.
There you go.
So Turkey's chainsaw dick now comes cutting through the door, and in bursts Turkey. Flores says to Turkey, "I'm going to fuck you up." She then points to her crotch and says, "Have you ridden camelback down the Grandma Canyon?"
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Absolutely disgusting.
Uh-huh.
Turkey charges her, saying, "Suck on my chainsaw dick," and
he
look, you
proceeds
can
to-
still get it up. Basically, you can still make me get it up.
He proceeds to mouthfuck her
He-
with a chainsaw.
Yep, he mouthfucks her with a chainsaw dick, giving a new meaning to teethy blowjob.
Ooh. And then he says he like licks her blood and says, "That's some good cranberry sauce."
Yes.
Cranberry sauce. Yep.
So he basically kills Florence with his chainsaw dick.
He fucks her
Yeah,
mouth to
and
death with a chainsaw dick.
It's a long scene too.
It
It's
is.
like, it's, God damn it.
Kind of obscene.
Yeah,
So at this time,
Sorry,
the
we're
turkey
making puns. I just
skeletons,
we got to keep going with it. Have to.
the turkey skeletons come in. They attack Donnie and the others, and now I'm not sure what, because it gets kind of confusing. What I think happens, but I'm
Get
not
more
sure.
dubstep and then a big fight
Yeah,
scene.
Muff gets up to help fight, but the energy vortex coming out of his ass shifts because he moves. The energy vortex hits the Pluck Master machine, which causes an EMP-like wave to wash over the house, killing the power. Then Muff turns into like a living nightclub light show, and the dubstep techno music hits, and now we get the acid trip fight scene where Donnie, Yumi, and Muff fight off the turkey skeletons
And
in
Turkey.
in an acid dream dubstep music video again.
I
It's,
kind of like it. You know, I mean, the effects from the gun that he's shooting is kind of cool. The
Yeah.
music, I mean, the weird slow mo. don't get me wrong. I'm just like, what the fuck? But I still was kind of like, this is kind of cool. I kind of liked it. This guy, the
It was one of the higher moments of the film.
yeah, Uncle
Donnie's
throwing like Superman punches across her room
yeah,
and
like,
stuff, and
jumping, and uppercuts,
punching these puppets. You know, like, what is happening?
Yeah.
So during the chaos,
God.
Yumi gets her arm cut off by Turkey's chainsaw dick, which for some reason he detaches right after he cuts her arm off. And Turkey picks up the Niblet ThanksKilling 2 DVD, turns to face Dami, and says, "See you in hell." Then Turkey leaps into the normal oven, closing the oven doors behind him. Fade to black. We fade in on Donnie and Muff standing over Yumi, looking down at her. They all think she's dead. She seems dead. And Rhonda says she just needs a hand. Don't you know what she is?
So we kind of get a little origin story on Yumi in a way.
Sort of, but it's so super vague. Because Donnie says, she's a puppet. And Rhonda says, no, that all Earth puppets are based on her, that Yumi's kind has been around for centuries, but you just don't see them. That's pretty all you get. And then Muff makes like a hand gesture. Donnie kneels down and sticks his hand up Yumi's ass like a ventriloquist doll.
Basically, it's a puppet,
Yeah.
so it's got the opening.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really have an ass, but they're treating it like an ass. Because he's like grossed out. He's like, ew. And he starts to put his hand in. I was expecting to hear like, or like
something.
a squish sound
Like
or
a
something.
fart,
Yeah,
something.
I was like waiting for it. Oh.
No, but this apparently brings Yumi back to life. So he fists her back to life, basically, is what happened.
Basically. If you want to put it that way.
And Yumi tells him that she saw her mind in there and points to the oven. And again, we see her uterus brain floating in the air. And Yumi wants to go after it. Donnie agrees to this, but is told, hey, you can't because you can't fit into the oven. You're too big. So Yumi asks Rhonda to ride on her shoulder and come with her. He says yes. But now instead of a worm, he's selling a hot dog with googly eyes and a mustache.
What the fuck
It's like a split second.
Yeah.
It's like he's a worm, and then suddenly it's a fucking hot dog.
Yeah.
And it's smacking
Muff in the
face.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, did it just change to a hot dog and back?
Yeah, and then like the very next, it cut again, and he's right back to a worm.
Right.
There's what the fuck is the point of this? Yeah. Like what is happening? Why? Drinking again. I gotta drink again. Okay. Oh God, burns so good. So Rhonda says the oven, which is hell for turkeys. God knows what they will see in there. So if we're going in, we're gonna need some disguises. These disguises consist of basically Yumi and Rhonda wearing cheap fake beaks around their face.
So they pose as turkeys.
Yeah. So Yumi and Rhonda enter the oven, and into turkey hell they go. As they walk through turkey hell, they pass like dozens of like talking turkey skeletons that are like molded and like fused into the rock walls. Very kind of like very Dante's Inferno-esque type.
Go back.
Yeah.
Don't go any further. This is hell.
And
save yourself.
But it turns out I'm glad you guys are here for this because you guys were Chris, you also were here for this one. But to me, I made the connection. I think turkey hell is also the 8th dimension, home of the killer eyes, because we see 2 large eyes bopping around with only optic nerves trailing around and trailing behind them.
What a connection.
Exactly. I was like, please tell me these guys see these things.
I did not see that.
I did see that. Yeah, I saw
that?
them. Yeah. There was 2 eyes just up and looking around. It was just nerve ending.
Well,
like,
I did see that.
And then they kind of like walk off like behind each other. I'm like, oh my God, they're like baby killer eye. It's the 8th dimension.
I didn't put that together.
So ThanksKilling and Killer Eye are connected.
Ooh.
Well, you wonder if maybe they're trying to connect all these kind of favorite horror
I
movies.
can't believe somebody would say Killer Eye is a favorite horror movie.
It's one of my favorite horror movies. Thank you very much.
Well, Halloween Haunt, definitely. Yeah.
Well, I also liked Killer Eye.
Did you like? Okay.
I remember you guys, or at least you, I think, were like, it's not like I loved it.
Okay, you love
It's only 'cause
titties? I mean, come on.
I was comparing it to the
Yeah, we were
Haunt,
comparing.
but
Yeah, that was a mistake. We shouldn't have done. Anyway, so
sorry.
Back on track here. They meet a pair of rats.
I try to do anything I can to get off this movie.
Can we talk about Killer Eye some more?
Yeah, right. Actually, I wouldn't mind. That's a great. Let's talk about Halloween Haunt because that movie's awesome. So they meet a pair of talking rats who talk about smelling each other's cheese farts, but then they do end up pointing Yumi in the right direction. That's the whole point of the scene. It's just it's kind of stupid.
But
they have a
their whole
string-
gag is that they eat cheese in the morning, right? And
Yeah,
then
they eat cheese
fart.
in the morning, and then they fart later in the day to try and guess what kind of cheese they ate.
Yeah.
But then they did a string cheese commercial
Uh-huh.
out of nowhere.
Oh, that comes
Yeah.
later. Yeah, there's a fucking cheese string commercial.
Right,
It's
right.
so weird.
Yeah.
Which actually I think I skipped one more in my notes, but yeah, at some point Turkey comes and says, oh, that string cheese, and then it just snaps into like greeny string cheese, and it's a cartoon like the cats in the beginning.
None of that healthy milk in this.
No,
It's
like-
all
All made
in
in the lab.
Yeah, fuck you or something.
So
like
go
that.
fuck yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
greeny string cheese, and then it goes right back to the movie.
Yeah.
What is the point? Like it's so random and just weird. Anyway, back on Earth, Donnie is
Sorry,
fixing
guys.
Muff's gun and the Pluckmaster machine, and Donnie and the Pluckmaster start having like a heart to
Have
heart.
like a moment.
Yeah,
together.
they're trying to reconcile their differences or something.
Right.
And we fade away back to Turkey Hell, where Yomi and Rhonda run into two turkey skeleton guards and have to fake being turkeys to get away, which just means they go gobble, gobble, gobble over and over and just walk right past them. That's all it was.
But the turkey skeletons are talking about, getting laid from other turkeys and getting
Oh,
beak
yeah, that's what it
jobs.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beak
You know,
jobs.
it's
I
it's
spouted
just,
gravy all over her face or something.
yeah,
like
gravy
that.
shot to the eye.
Gravy
Yeah.
shots, yeah.
Like they're just doing this to have more turkey jokes and turkey puns.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
God damn.
I know.
They finally catch up to Turkey and find him hooking up Niblet DVD Niblet or whatever to a mechanical turkey head. And Turkey tells him once he turns it on, Niblet will be streamed to every electronic device in the world, and when watched, my curse will take effect. So that's his master plan. So Rhonda has a quick dream fantasy about Yumi sucking on the end of his worm body.
Dude,
Which
yeah.
is really, again, random and weird. Like, what is happening?
That got real weird. Like, he just all of a sudden starts fantasizing about Yumi. It's like she's got her eyes closed. She's basically blowjobbing
Yeah, his worm
part of
body.
the worm. I was just like, hello. Bow, chicka, bow, bow. Things got a little weird, a little
Yeah.
hot, and all of a sudden he just goes, just a dream.
Yeah. And then Turkey turns on the power, and we're hit with one more techno dubstep scene where Turkey cranks up the power, more acid trip follows. This time we see some random guy dying, and his chest has like been possibly ripped open.
Yeah, they were showing like images of people being killed,
Yeah.
or
Right,
dying, being killed by turkey.
And there's a
assuming,
guy,
like, the
like,
curse. This
there's a
is
guy
the
in a
curse.
turkey suit carrying another guy off over his shoulder, and Turkey dragging some random girl down
like
a
shoves
tunnel.
shoves his like feather through the back of her head. It's coming out her mouth, and he's dragging her back through.
Oh, God.
I mean, just all kinds of weird images
Yeah.
of people being killed by turkeys or turkey.
Turkey.
Yeah.
And a man in a turkey suit.
Yeah,
Like, it's a
yeah.
felt mascot suit, and
Right.
it's just really weird again and random. Yumi pops out from behind a rock and orders Turkey to stop.
I'm sorry.
No, go
I
on.
just got to go back to that scene.
Yeah.
Where people are being killed. I was really hoping to see some of the original cast members.
Yeah.
You know, I thought I might have caught a glimpse of the dad, the guy who played the dad in the original ThanksKilling, but I wasn't sure if it was him or not. I don't know if either of you guys maybe saw that.
Which dad?
The dad
It
who
had been the sheriff, right?
the sheriff dad.
Yeah.
So I thought it was him. I thought maybe he was one of them, but I wasn't sure. And obviously, I'm guessing
No,
not.
it
considering
wasn't.
Neither one of you guys like.
I didn't.
I wasn't sure.
really
I was like,
pay attention.
maybe,
I had no
don't
idea.
know.
I had never even thought about why. Not that this movie makes sense at all, but it would make zero sense to me why they would show the original cast and that it
Just
wasn't
maybe
a
it's a
flashback.
shout out or something. I don't know.
Maybe,
Yeah.
but it wasn't it wasn't a flashback of him killing. If
No, I
anything, I
mean-
think it was supposed to be like show
I agree,
what was gonna
yeah.
happen with
Right,
the
right.
curse.
I
that's
just
what I was
thought.
thinking.
I agree with that too.
Yeah.
But I just thought one of the guys was a former cast member.
No.
Oh, well.
We're just trying to connect the two somehow, some way.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Yumi orders him to stop. Turkey calls Rhonda just a piece of moon poon. And
I like.
Rhonda tells Turkey that he is a man, and that when he was a child, his stepfather didn't take him fishing, but rather used him for fishing, and a trout bit off his worm penis, and that Turkey fucked his butthole.
Yeah. The turkey gets kind of. Oh yeah.
But then he's like, fuck it.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Fuck it, yeah.
Um,
Oh, God.
and then Turkey introduces the both of them to his newest creation, Franken-Turkey. Now, Franken-Turkey is a giant monster turkey mutant made up of various other turkey parts. It's massive.
It's got like 4 eyes and
Yeah.
long arms.
And like a
Who doesn't
second
like that?
long neck and head behind it. It's
Who
huge.
doesn't want to be called Franken Turkey anymore? He
Well,
wants to be
he-
called Barth.
Yes, Thank you. He does not want to be called. He wants to be referred to as Barth.
Like Barth Brooks
and Barth Maul.
Barth Maul. Those guys are cool.
Barth Vader. So Barth lunges out from his alcove to attack them. Rhonda distracts Barth, allowing Yumi to go for the DVD. Yumi detaches the Niblet DVD from the turkey head machine, dives for Rhonda, and they take off running down like the rocky tunnels of Turkey Hell.
While Barth is chasing him.
Yeah, yes. Rhonda is literally whipping Uni to make her run faster as Barth is like barreling after them.
Like, where'd you get that whip? It's like, it doesn't matter.
Just run faster. So while she's running, Yumi gets a vision of her uterus brain telling her just a little further. Yumi leaps forward and this causes her to leap out of the oven in Turkey Hell. She lands back in the kitchen of Uncle Donnie's kitchen. Muff sticks his gun into the oven, which ends up right in front of Barth's face, and he pulls the trigger, killing Barth. Muff finds Rhonda bleeding on the floor. His rear
cut in half.
His rear half is like bitten off by Barth during the chase scene.
It's bleeding all over the place.
Yeah, blood's going everywhere.
It's blurting. Yeah, like insane amounts of CGI blood just spraying around. Rhonda asks Muff to hold him tight one last time, but Muff ends up accidentally crushing Rhonda to death because he's a worm, and this is a giant robot. After accidentally killing Rhonda, Muff can't take it.
He's so distraught.
He shoots himself in the head with his arm cannon, killing himself.
Donnie's like, no!
Boom.
We need you, fucking Muff, you idiot.
God damn it.
So suddenly Turkey pops back up and is about to attack Donnie when in a puff of smoke, Wise Turkey appears and says to Turkey, "You shall not peck." So another bring it back to a Gandalf reference.
That's perfect. I love it because he got the staff, the oven.
Yeah.
You shall not peck.
As the staff comes down,
yes,
it immediately turns into like a Nintendo.
Yes.
Oh,
he uses the magic staff to wise morph them both into a video game system from 1993.
I would think later than that.
No, it says
Really,
it actually says 93.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Okay. It looks straight Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, very
absolutely.
Ninja Gaiden.
So for anyone who's ever played Ninja Gaiden, the cutscenes, like the animation for Ninja Gaiden, bam, that's perfect.
It's perfect. And at this point, the dialogue isn't dialogue. It shows up as scrolling text at the bottom of the screen like you would see in a video game.
Right. And it was moving too fast for me to read, just like in those video games.
I had to really because I mean, as soon as it was on, it was gone. You had to catch it. You really keep up with it.
So Wise Turkey and Turkey have an 8-bit fight to the death. Meanwhile, Donnie and Yumi try to get Muff's butt vortex working again. Donnie just starts beating the shit out of Muff with a pipe, thinking they will get him to work. And then Rhonda pops back up as he regrows the lower half of his body.
Right.
And Rhonda crawls over to Muff to get the vortex working again.
He actually jumps into Muff's head.
Yes.
And starts throwing parts out and gets it working.
Yes.
From its brain.
Thank you. Yeah. Because
brain
there's
cavity.
a big hole from where he shot himself in the head. So back in the 8-bit world, Turkey cuts off Wise Turkey's head with an 8-bit axe. Yumi grabs the Niblon DVD. They exchange some final words because now Yumi and Niblet have become friends or something, which is really weird.
Yeah.
And Yumi is about to toss it into the vortex when Turkey grabs her from behind and starts to just beat on her, just wail her away, slam her around. Turkey starts strangling Yumi, telling her that he's been waiting 4 centuries to kill one of her kind. So again, this is the only time that Weiser said, "Oh, Turkey wants to get you." But again, it's not just her. It would have been like any one of her, any Muppet. Really,
basically, he wants to kill a puppet.
If Kermit was there,
it's weird. It's almost like we missed something.
Yeah, something was left out. Yeah.
Or what happened in this fucking DVD that we're not allowed to see. You know?
Yeah.
So Yumi now has a flashback of the Wise Turkey telling her to follow the wishbone, which then just is magically blows into her hand, it just shows up in her hand, and she stabs Turkey in the throat with the wishbone, breaks it off, and then stabs the broken end back, stabs him again with the now broken end, and she tells him, "I wish you would go fuck yourself." Turkey begins to radiate bright light and shake, and then he just explodes
into pieces.
Into pieces. Yumi grabs Niblet. Donnie yells at her to kill Niblet, but Yumi's like, I don't want to, because like they become friends now or something, which it was really didn't really. There was no like you didn't see that coming.
They
It's
didn't
like
focus on any relationship.
Yeah, like
building
Niblet
or
the whole time.
anything
Niblet's like, I want to kill everybody. We're gonna be like you, Daddy. Like, oh, now I like this person. Like, there was no
Right.
like no scene or reason why that change of heart comes.
Now we're besties.
Yeah.
I can't. I was gonna try to, but why?
Just why?
Yeah, I think that's a great theme. Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Just why? So why? Well, shout out to Dogfight. Dogfight, if you're listening. So Rhonda and Donnie are yelling at her to hurry up because the vortex won't stay open forever. And while Yumi is contemplating what to do, she gets bit on the ankle by the talking severed head of Turkey.
So Turkey's still kicking.
He's just a neck and a head, but he's still at it.
Yeah.
The vortex begins to suck Yumi into it, but Donnie grabs her hand, and at this point, I'm having serious Monster Squad flashbacks.
Yes!
Watching this, because I'm like, holy shit! This is straight up end of Monster Squad right
Yes,
here.
Right.
this is exactly what it is. The vortex is going,
And
people are holding
instead
on.
of Frankenstein,
Don't go, Frankenstein! Don't go!
yeah. Where it's like a 6-year-old girl holding like a 400-pound
Right.
monster.
Absolutely. Wait, is there a problem here? I don't get it.
So
Weren't they all holding her too, though?
I think at one point, I don't know, but she was holding on to like a bench. Like,
Right.
and, like the one, I'm sorry, I get started, but the vortex and monster is like sucking like police cars on this one little bench,
I think
which is like 5 feet in front of the vortex.
didn't the tank go in too, and like all the army.
You see army men flying by, like, ah!
But this one little bench, which is like seriously like 5 feet in front of the opening of this giant black hole, it doesn't
Right.
move an inch.
Nope.
Love it.
That's cemented in good.
Yeah.
That's a good
Absolutely.
craftsmanship right there.
Absolutely.
Oh God! So Turkey's biting his way up
Man, I
Yumi's
want to watch
body.
Monster Squad.
I know, right?
Why didn't we watch Monster Squad?
Monster Squad's a great movie because it's too good to be done on this show. And now for some stupid reason, the movie cuts away to Rhonda playing an old saxophone, which he said he found in Muff's head.
Uh-huh.
And then it goes right back to DVD Niblet pops up next to Turkey and says, I don't want to be like you anymore, Dad, and then pecks Turkey, causing Turkey to lose his grip on Yumi. Turkey's living severed head is sucked into the vortex and disintegrates, turning the blue vortex red for a moment. Donnie continues to hold on to Yumi, fighting to keep her from getting sucked in.
I need you here, Yumi. I need you
Yeah,
here.
so
Yeah.
it's like really weird because the guy's like in love with this puppet. Like he's like, I want to fuck you, puppet.
Right.
Like it's
Kinda.
and so we
Yeah,
see her.
loose fuck. You see the size of that hole?
Yeah.
Damn.
So we see the
Well, it's
uterus.
felty, maybe there's be some
Squeeze it on.
friction
Yeah,
there.
all right.
You get fuzz on your dick though. You'd be picking up fuzz. And we see the uterus brain descend down from the vortex, calling out to Yumi. Yumi thanks Donnie for showing her Thanksgiving. Donnie's begging her to stay with him so they can open Thanksgiving Land together. And now all the characters we've met so far start show up floating in the vortex. I mean, we have the cartoon cat, the talking garbage bag, and the 2 rats. Why? Again, I have no fucking clue.
They're like, come on home,
They're just
Yumi.
there. Like, why are they there all of a sudden?
Right.
And so
How'd the trash bag get out of the dumpster?
exactly,
Why
like
the rats get out of hell? Why is there a cartoon
a
cat?
cartoon cat.
Why is any of this happening to me?
I don't know.
So Yumi tells Donnie that she will miss him and says goodbye. Her hand slips out of Donnie's grip and she's slowly, like super slow motion, pulled into the vortex where she disintegrates from view.
Mm-hmm.
And now we get shots of Yumi like spinning around in a sun-bathed forest while sad music plays. The vortex disappears up into the sky, and we hear the wise Turkey Splinter say, Yumi found her mind, and with that her home, but the lives of those affected by her must go on. And we cut back to a sad
So
Donnie.
is she dead?
Guess, like, it's what it makes it sound like.
Why is it that Yumi died? You know?
So Donnie's sitting on the floor all sad, and we see a piece of orange fleece float down next to him. He catches it, cuts the string off of it that it was dangling from.
Yeah, it's dangling by a fish string,
Yeah,
like
fish
a
wire.
fishing wire. It's so obvious, and it lands on him, and he cuts it off. Like,
Yeah.
God.
Right.
Well, at least they're acknowledging how shitty their effects are.
Yeah,
They-
they're not trying to. They're
Right.
exploiting it.
Yeah,
you
they
know?
exploit their
Absolutely.
shitty effects. Yeah. So Rhonda now crawls up on Donnie's shoulder, sees the fleece, and wants to make a hat out of it, and asks Donnie if he can crash here for a while.
Yeah.
And then we jump to the very next day. Donnie
It says the very next
Yeah, right.
Yes.
day.
And Donnie is building Thanksgiving Land, which is just 2 or 3 shitty carnival rides out in a field.
In the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah. And it looks like he's talking to the audience at first, but then the camera flips to show Muff, a Muff Pluckmaster hybrid sitting there.
Yes.
It looks like
he took the brain out of.
it looks like
Pluckmaster.
Muff, like Tony Stark, Iron Man. He's got like the big circle, only a much bigger circle on his chest.
It was whatever Pluckmaster was talking on. Anytime
Yeah.
Pluckmaster would talk, this blue light would kind of flash.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he took that out of the Pluckmaster and put it into Muff.
Yes.
And then
So now-
Rhonda's sitting on Muff's shoulder. So it's like 3 personalities on one body.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And the Pluckmaster's like, when I said I need repairs, this is not what I had in mind. Rhonda scurries up, and when we see Rhonda, he's wearing an orange fleece hat that we made out, which is that's kind of scary. Think about that would be like an Ed Gein hat or something. That's
Made out of her skin.
That's a flesh hat.
Yeah. But hey, okay, so then part of Yumi is also there too.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's like
A piece of her lives on, literally.
As fashionable hats.
Fashionable headgear, fashionable accessories. The camera pans up to the sky, and the angel of Jefferson appears, welcomes us to Thanksgiving Land, and tells us to keep our hands inside the gravy train. The screen is ripped in half. Turkey pops up, says, "Gobble, gobble, motherfucker." Roll credits. And this is where they drop the original ThanksKilling theme music, which we already said I like.
Yeah.
And then after the credits,
Did you stay?
Yeah, I did.
I watched the whole credits.
okay, I
too.
want to see if you guys would. I thought you'd be
did.
turned
I
off.
do every time because there's been
Every
times
once in a while,
where I
there's a
haven't.
little
Right.
nugget of
Yep.
fun,
And
which there was here.
There was here.
Absolutely.
We get a music video for Flois's rap song "Sprinkle of Wrinkle," and this may be the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. Now, for those of you who are old enough to remember this, there's a music video that I find quite disturbing by Phil Collins, the original Land of Confusion song, which is done with puppets, and it's freaky. It's very creepy and freaky. And this, to me, is like 100 times worse than that music video. This thing is disturbing to me. But it doesn't last very long. It's over.
I do like how she talks about pulling her diapers to the side so you can fuck her. I don't remember the lyrics, but I just remember that visual. Her pulling her
It's something
diaper
like pull
up.
my diaper to the side and stick it or something like that. Yeah, I don't know what the stick it rhymed with, but yeah, it was just and that Moon Goons is ThanksKilling 3.
Thank God.
What the fuck did we just talk about?
I don't know.
When you mentioned Jefferson talking about coming to heaven, I forgot to drop this. Is during the fight scene when Flo dies, he welcomes her to heaven.
Yeah.
He kind of is this. He appears like when people start dying and welcome to heaven, and then when Yumi starts to die, when Turkey originally kills her, he's just like, Fuck you, Yumi. Get
Yeah.
out of here.
He's like, you want to come to heaven? Fuck you.
Yeah,
Right.
I did like that.
All right, that's the move. So let's move on to favorite kills.
There can be only one. Favorite kill.
Oh, we're going right into that.
We're going right into favorite kills. There's not much to choose from, and like I said, most of them are puppets.
Yeah.
So
Those count, right?
like, they have to count
I
for this
guess
movie.
so. I mean, they're characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the only thing we're looking at is Jefferson.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which was a fucking shitty kill.
Agreed.
like the random weird ones in the acid trip at the end that don't really count.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
So yeah, well, what do you guys got? Who?
All right, Chris, got a favorite kill?
I gotta go with Flois.
Flois.
And honestly, Flois was my favorite. As disgusting and nasty as that puppet was, she was really the comic relief throughout this whole thing, and I really enjoyed her raps. Rap skills.
Rap skills.
And she actually did have some good points here and there, you know?
Absolutely.
And, yeah, I mean...
And, I mean, you gotta give it up to her. She fucking got face fucked by a chainsaw.
that is pretty intense.
Hardcore. That's hardcore.
That's a way to go.
Yeah, right?
You want to talk about going.
She took one for the team, too, actually. Like, she distracted Turkey
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So,
All
I gotta
right.
go with Flois.
All right.
My favorite kill was Turkey Mom.
Turkey mom. Turkey wife.
Mom,
Yeah,
turkey
That was
wife.
a good one, yeah.
So just that visual, it's the first kill. I thought it was a good way to start it off. I mean, split her head right in half. The visual of her shot on her face with the head splitting and the kid in the background. I thought it worked. I thought it was good.
I
we
will
have a total of
visual-
like five, 6 kills. Total
Yeah, there's
on
not a
this.
whole lot.
You can't count Rhonda
Yeah, because Rhonda comes back.
or really Muff. So, what do you do?
No, I agree. Visually, that is a great shot when it peels down. You see that's a great visual. I was torn between the two you pick. I mean, it's really the two best in the movie. Now, personally, I kind of disagree with you. I didn't like Flowis. I thought they went too far with her. Like, I know this movie is fucking crazy. And
Flowis is where they went too far.
But
Seriously?
Like, it was too vulgar and foul just for the sake of being vulgar and foul, and the fact that that's
a cartoon about 3 cats that are gay and like to do anal kisses wasn't too far. Hey,
yeah,
you're entitled to your opinion.
I don't know, but I think it's the problem I have is
the random
puppet,
string cheese. I don't know.
Puppet. It was so horrifyingly gross that it just looking at her like maybe I not want to watch. I wanted to look away from the screen every time this puppet was shown. And when she finally died, I'm like, okay, you good. Yay, I don't have to look at her anymore. But the fact that she gets a chainsaw dick in the face, that alone has got original. So I'm going to go with Flowis as well.
All right.
So there we go. Flowis, and Turkey White.
Yeah,
Turkey
I mean, hey, I like the Flowis kill too, but that visual shot, that was just...
No, the visual is great.
I thought that was a great way to start it.
All right, let's move on to odds and ends.
Not only did they watch these films, they researched them too. Ugh, what is wrong with these guys?
Start off with our ratings. IMDb gives it a 3.4 out of 10.
That's a lot.
Rotten Tomatoes, there is no tomato meter score, but it does have a 30% audience score, which I thought was really high for it. I was surprised by that.
Wow.
And Amazon gives it a 2.3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Moving on to plot keywords. Surprisingly, there's only one plot keyword listed for this movie on IMDb.
Can I guess?
You can guess.
Turkey?
No.
Gobble?
No.
Chainsaw dick?
You're not going to guess.
Puppets?
I wish. That would be a great
Yeah.
one.
What do you got?
The plot keyword, 2-word title, which isn't even 2 words because ThanksKilling is done as 1 and 3 is a numeral, not a word. It's not written out, so it's really a 1-word title.
Okay.
And
It's a weird one.
yeah, it's just really fucking weird. It's lazy.
You know what?
Laziness.
This is something I think we should start doing.
Start adding
and
our own
maybe
plot
this is
keyword.
something we should ask our Moon Goons to start doing as well.
Oh, yeah.
Is we look up these plot keywords and we enjoy them, and sometimes you find some random weird stuff.
Weird
but
shit, yeah.
We've been coming across a lot of our movies that don't have any. Let's start adding them.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Let's start adding some of them, and we'll even give ourselves a little shout out.
Yeah.
Pat on the back.
Pat on the back.
Larry Bisco style.
Yeah. If anybody goes on IMDb
Harry
and
Borowitz.
anybody goes on there and adds the plot keyword chainsaw dick, I will be thoroughly amused if to come on and see that added on there.
It's kind of like The Walking Dead or whatever, or the Talking Dead afterwards.
Yes.
Where he like tries to get a hashtag going. You know.
There you go.
Hashtag chainsaw dick.
Hashtag chainsaw dick. Moving on to
Those are on
trivia.
Twitter, right?
Yeah.
See if we can get that trending.
Yeah,
Come on.
we can do it on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
Chainsaw dick.
So moving on to trivia, and surprisingly, I found
A lot?
not a lot, but a decent, more than I thought I would on this movie. The original ThanksKilling was shot in 11 days, while this one took over 50 days to shoot.
Wow.
Which really surprised me because there are so fewer actors to work around. But
Yeah, but it's got to have something to do with all the puppetry.
There's a lot of effects. I mean, to be perfectly honest, this movie
There
had
really
a
are.
lot of practical effects.
Well,
Yeah.
with all the animation.
Yeah.
the
goes along with it,
the
and
animation.
the
Okay,
fucking-
yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
The working title was originally just called ThanksKilling Sequel. The hero Rhonda Worm puppet broke many times during the shooting and constantly had to be repaired. A third of the movie was shot with the original puppet, a third after undergoing repairs by Troy Smith, and the final third after second round of repairs. In the final film, you can clearly see the 3 different looks. This is why Rhonda looks different in many of the shots.
I wonder if that's why they used the hot
Hot
dog.
dog.
Yeah,
I
it
I bet
could've
they're just
been.
like, fuck it.
Just throw hot dogs in there.
That was so weird. The fucking hot dog.
Yeah.
I thought I was tripping. Like I almost wanted to be eating acid watching this fucking movie. I
Did this
swear to
movie
God.
break my brain?
Yeah.
Is that a hot dog?
Yeah.
The Blarth Franken turkey suit was worn and performed by creature effects designer Troy Smith. The suit itself was built out of wood, chicken wire, and foam or spray foam, ultimately making it incredibly heavy. And a small monitor was attached inside for Troy to operate
Was
it
that
from.
Franken turkey that big that like a man was inside that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
I was when I saw
I
it,
didn't-
I was
I
like,
didn't-
that's got to be at least.
Well, if
16.
anything,
I
it
saw
could
it,
at
but I
least
mean,
not be full body, but when you look at the scene, it's really the Yumi and then you don't see legs, so it could have been shot from the waist up. It
That's
could
a
have been
good
like his
point.
legs were
Yeah.
exposed,
Like
and
they
it's
were
this
on-
massive thing on his
okay,
head.
that makes a good point.
That's what I think would have
Yeah,
probably would have
Yeah,
been.
that's probably more like it.
And during that, during the chase scene out of Tricky Hell, the Blarsu got caught on one of the tunnel walls, causing the monster, the suit with the actor inside to crash into the floor. But lucky because it was foam, he didn't get hurt. But yeah, it was so big it got caught and caused an accident.
Dude, that I gotta say the hell that Yumi is walking through to get the turkey. I mean, the styrofoam setting. I mean, the way it's
it was
the
pretty
actual
good.
scenery is pretty good.
Yeah, I will say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hell isn't too bad. It's pretty decent. It's like Fraggle Rock meets hell. It's very
Kinda.
Yeah.
That's a very good way of putting
Yeah.
it. Yeah, that's cheers to that. One.
Cheers to that.
Here, a little ching ching.
Little ching ching, ching ching ching. So the exterior shots of Uncle Donnie's place were actually a miniature house that was built on a putt-putt golf course the filmmakers found in South Dakota, where the movie was filmed. The poster artwork was designed by Ralph Krauss of Falcon White. I'm not really sure what that is. After the filmmakers found his work online, they approached him for the job. And the graffiti-covered alleyway where Uncle Donnie and Yumi first meet is known as Art Alley in Rapid City, South Dakota.
Huh.
So,
South Dakota, huh?
yep, South Dakota. I
guess
wouldn't have
that's
guessed
where
it.
Thanksgiving land is.
Yeah, I guess
Is that where this whole movie was filmed in South Dakota?
yeah, which
Okay.
explains like some of those more deserty scenes, or like the
Yeah.
the Badlands of
Which is
Dakota.
crazy because
the-
the first one was filmed in Ohio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
I
Good
want.
job,
That's what I
yeah.
thought. The same thing. So I was like, wasn't it in Ohio, or at least takes place in Ohio because they
Right.
talk about it. But yeah, this one was South Dakota. So that's all I have for the trivia. But we do get to play a variation of the budget game.
It's now time to play everyone's favorite game, Guess the Budget.
Ooh.
Yes,
Variation.
a variation of the budget game, because it's not the official budget, but I was able to find out they were able to raise money. Most of the money budget came from Kickstarter. They raised the money on Kickstarter for this.
They did a Kickstarter.
Yes.
to play this movie.
And I have the amount, the main amount they raised on Kickstarter. So that's what we're gonna do it for guess. How much money did they raise on Kickstarter for this movie? That will be the challenge for today's budget game.
Okay.
Well, let's see here. Originally, in the first movie, okay, you said $35,000. I just listened to this podcast to kind of do okay.
Yeah.
I said $100,000. We both were off the charts because it only cost $3,500 to make the first movie.
Which I think goes down. It still holds the record for the cheapest movie we've ever done on the show.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Probably. You want to guess first?
No, you're the guest. Guest.
Well, there was a lot of effects in this.
There were.
There was a lot more time.
Yeah, there was
no
animation.
fucking-
There were
Yeah, they probably had to pay more money too to like
the special effects. I mean, the suits,
yeah.
the costumes, all that stuff. You gotta have to take into consideration.
Animation.
Yeah.
the animation. Dude, I'm gonna stick with my original guess. I'm gonna say $100,000.
$100,000 for Chris.
That's what I said the first time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it this time.
Now this is what's raised on Kickstarter.
This is
right?
what they
Right.
raised on Kickstarter.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Damn. Fuck it. I'm gonna stick with it.
ThanksKilling actually has kind of a cult following. It was on Netflix. It's on fucking Netflix. Think
Was
of the
it?
millions and millions of people that were exposed to it.
It was on Netflix.
Yeah, the original one was on Netflix, is where we first
for a
watched
couple
it.
years.
No, we watched it on Amazon.
That's true. But
Years ago, the very first time I ever
Oh,
saw
I
it,
see.
before we even did the podcast, like, years ago, it was.
see what
I
you're
first
saying.
saw it on
I see what
Netflix.
you're saying. I see
Yeah.
what you're saying.
and so think of the millions of people that
Yeah.
are exposed to it. You got to have people who thought it was fucking great. Blah blah blah. $100,000's not a bad guess, honestly.
Right.
I'm just gonna go under. I'm gonna go 75,000.
75,000 for Aaron. Well, we do have a clear winner because we have somebody who guessed pretty much the exact amount. The winner of the amount raised on Kickstarter budget game, Chris Ambles. It raised $100,000 on Kickstarter.
Oh,
And as of 2012, it was the highest funded horror movie on Kickstarter.
what?
Wow.
Oh God. Damn you people.
Yeah.
Damn you people.
With that, let's go into 5-star reviews.
I don't even want to win that.
These special movies have a place in these special people's hearts. 5-star reviews.
There were 4 pages. I'm sorry. 2 pages with 4-star. Yeah. 2 pages of 5-star reviews for this movie, and there are 4 pages of 1-star reviews. So I wrote down a few of the most of the 5 stars because they're really short. From Sean Housen, this says better than number 2. Which, fuck you, there is no number 2, you asshole.
That's kind of funny.
You asshat.
I kind of like that. Better than number 2.
This one scares me, that from our in-low, the kids loved it. 5 stars.
Oh, God.
What? Jared, terrifying. The night after watching this, my eyes were harder to shut than John Benet Ramsey case. ThanksKilling is one also a must-see. 5 stars. Terrifying. This movie is no. And then Dan, best goddamn movie I've seen in my life. Watched it 35 times. 5 stars.
35 times.
35
I don't think
times.
I've seen anything 35 times. Maybe Teen Wolf.
Really? Teen Wolf?
I was into it when I was a kid, man.
I'd say maybe like Star Wars, or maybe like
I don't know. I've probably seen Army of Darkness 35 times.
Marshall hasn't seen it in 20 years.
I haven't seen it in 20 years.
Sorry, that's a direct jab at Marshall.
From Matthew, I didn't really know what was going on. 5 stars.
I'm right
Yeah.
there with you,
We're all
Matthew.
right there with you, but
Right
still,
there.
you give a movie 5 stars, you say you don't know what's happening?
Good point. We're on acid, Matthew.
I mean,
We're
might
on
have been.
acid.
Now, I had to write this one down because this is the first thing I've least clearly remembered a repeat reviewer I found. This is from Dylan the Dude, who reviews so you don't have to spend a lot of money on a movie that hasn't been reviewed. That's his fucking screen name. All one word. And he writes, a okay movie, hilarious, but one is a lot better, 5 stars.
Okay movie, 5
5
stars.
stars. Yeah, if you okay and 5 stars, don't go. That's a 3-star at best.
That's an oxymoron.
Yeah.
It's like jumbo shrimp. Come on, man.
From Porter, random. Seriously, if you like weird random stuff that doesn't actually make sense, this is awesome. 5 stars.
True.
Yeah.
And last 2 from Keith Wienerdog. Wow, this movie is so awesome that I just loved it. What great low-budget special effects. Looking forward to the next sequel. Congratulations to Jordan, Kevin, Ricky, and Dave. Oh, and Dan and Joe. And let's not forget to give special thanks to the crew from Crow Ridge Productions for their outstanding technical support in the Black Hills, South Dakota. 5 stars.
Sounds
Gotta
like
be a local
somebody
boy,
was on the cast or
Yeah.
on the crew.
Yeah,
Local
insider.
boy.
Yeah.
And
His
Doggy
brother probably works there.
Take Hip. It's weird ass names.
Okay.
ThanksKilling 3 is a must see for thankful people. It is a wholesome, heartfelt film that really expresses the essence of Thanksgiving, historically accurate, and pays homage to American history. 5 stars.
That's pretty good.
I actually like that one. And just for counterpoint, I wrote down one-star review that just kind of sums it up. It's from Steven. It says, stupid, spelled STOOPID. Stupid amount of pointless puppets, not enough turkey, and painfully long techno-induced acid trips.
Mm-hmm.
Do not waste your money. Just hit your head with a large object to experience the same effect. 1 star.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what other people thought. Let's give our final takes on this. Final thoughts. Let's wrap this up. What do you got, Chris, Aaron? Which we want to start off with our final thoughts?
I'll go ahead and dive in here.
All
So
right.
we're called Horrible Horror.
Yes.
Okay, we watch horror movies. This was not a horror movie.
No, it definitely did not.
I'm sorry. Now
No.
we watched ThanksKilling the original, and that could probably be classified as a horror movie. Yes,
Yeah.
it's fun, it's silly, it's
But
got
it was more of a, sorry, go ahead.
but it had horror theme.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, it came from the horror culture. Whereas this just borrowed from sci-fi, from the Muppets, from animation, it's way more comedy emphasis. There wasn't any real horror in it.
Mm-mm.
So, to be perfectly honest, I liked the movie. I thought it was fun because obviously it's just fucking crazy ThanksKilling 3. It's just ridiculousness, and it had acidy stuff and the effects, whatever. You knew what you were getting into. As far as a horror movie goes, we do horror. So bad it's scary. Don't watch it because it's nothing to do with any sort of horror thing. On a side note, like I said, I actually kind of enjoyed it.
Okay. Chris.
I would like to ask the Downey brothers to stop. Just stop. Like, I had high hopes for this movie because we watched the first one. We all really enjoyed it. As campy and as stupid as it was, like Aaron said, it did have the horror theme. There was like a stalking element to it. This one, it just fucking, I wanted to like it because we liked the other ones, but I fucking hated it. It's almost like this dude started this Kickstarter or whatever, like you said. I mean, and like got a hard on. Like, oh man, people really like the first one. What can I do? What can I do? And it's like it just went too far over the top to try to go vulgar and crazy with it, and it made no fucking sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No fucking sense. So bad it's scary.
So bad it's scary.
Pass.
I'm kind of split. A lot of the things you guys say I agree with. Something that I do want to touch on before I forget. I did think the human actors, I think Donnie and Jefferson, actually did a pretty solid job in this movie, given what they had to work with. I've seen way worse actors in better movies.
Did a great job.
I like Jefferson.
I like Jefferson.
He
too.
made me laugh.
Yeah, Jefferson made me. So as far as that goes, that there are some good things to take out. The human acting was good.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There was a lot of clever like puns and like funny scenes, but just overall.
Well, the movie basically is one giant pun. The whole movie is an ongoing pun. But as far as like you touched on it really well, you both did, that going into this, I was expecting it to be more like number one. I thought it'd be more of a. I mean, the cover shows a turkey with a chainsaw, and it's like, oh my, okay, this is gonna be. But I agree. Like, if you're gonna do the Kickstarter and you're going to make the sequel and take it on and just follow up with what got you here in the first place, there was no need to to deviate so far from the original. I've never seen a sequel deviate this much from an original ever. That it went from a slasher to this is like something like you would almost that reminds me of something I would see on like a Cartoon Network Adult Swim block. Like, it's just one of these weird random stoner like
very Aqua Teen Hunger Force,
or like God, where's some of those other weird ass like Super Prison or one of those weird ass things.
As we like the first one, I mean,
the weed comedy is basically what I call the weed comedy.
We know he did it for $3,500, and you said he got $100,000. He was like, "Fuck, what can I do with this?" Almost, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
How weird can I get?
I mean, I understand you can still go weird, but you could still make it more horror-esque. You don't have to be so random and
so far from
sci-fi. It's like it's so weird and such a deviation that. But at the same time, like you said, there were a few things that after a while, I did have to watch this twice, that I did kind of end up liking. Like at times, like okay, the acid trip dubstep, like okay, kind of visually, I'm like, all right, I can kind of get with this, but then. But based on what we do, like you said, as a horror movie, it's not a horror movie. It's not. So I would have to say so bad it's scary. But as just a weird oddity of filmmaking, it's almost worth watching just to experience this weirdness. It's like for those of you who've seen Meet the Feebles or something, it's one of these weird ass movies that defines logic and reality. You need to watch it just to like have your like what.
Do you know what I was doing when I watched this movie last night? I was taking shots of Jack. And drinking like there's a glass of water, just shots. And I
don't even have time to mix anything.
I didn't have any ice in the house. I didn't have any beer, so I got to the point where the chainsaw dick and the gravy.
Yeah.
And I literally had to stop taking notes because
shit
just got fucking weird, man. Fucking weird. I do not suggest being drunk. Hard drugs.
Hard drugs.
Or at least a fat joint.
Yeah, like we said, schedule ones. But kind of like Marshall said, I agree. Meet the Feebles-esque. If you've seen Meet the Feebles, it kind of borrows a lot from that. The puppetry. When's the last time you've seen anything to do with puppets in a movie?
Yeah, that wasn't a Muppets movie.
Like that has a very adult type of themes. Do we see a possible young Peter Jackson here?
Yeah, I doubt it. I don't think Jordan Downey's going to go on to make the next great like Lord of the Rings trilogy or something. Like he's not doing or
like a Frighteners or anything.
Or King Kong. Yeah, no. But as a horror movie, so bad it's scary. Don't consider watching it. But if you want to watch it for just the experience of what the fuck is this, it's worth maybe a watch, especially since you can get it for free on Amazon. But that's it. I cannot talk anymore about this crazy ass piece of
So
cinema
as
history.
Turkey said, let's go get some beers and then kill some motherfuckers.
Yes, let's do that. So all right.
Beers minus the killing.
Okay.
All right, Movie Goons, we're
Fair
going to sign off for this week. So remember, watch more horror movies and forever keep it tight.
Peace.